a good person sounds good on paper, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if that's what you want, that's what you want. But at the end of the day, you also have to ask yourself is, does this person complement my life in many different ways without me having to ask them to? Like,
Mm.
they come into your life and it's like you can't pinpoint because you're just like, yo, like this person's out of this world. Their energy, their frame, how they conduct themselves, how they move. And it's like, wow, like this is incredible compared to the good person where they're like, oh, I cook, I clean, I do all this, and or a man's like, I provide, I do. Nobody's looking for you to list off your accolades.
Mm.
It is not sexy when you list off your accolades. When you
Mm.
can just be your accolades compared to listing off your accolades, for me, that goes a long way.
And I think it's effortless, isn't it? It's like you're
It
not
is.
putting effort into it because the right person for you, you just like you said before, will just be, it'll be the energetic match in that sense. Like you just bounce off of each other, just being around each other's, just each other's space makes you feel alive, makes you feel like you want to achieve, makes you feel like what can we do next, what's next in life. And I think that's a natural thing. You can't write that down and make that be something you do, because it's not
No.
really something you do, it's more a being part of you. And if those two beings come together and they match in their energy and where they're going, what they want, and who they are in general, I think it just naturally becomes, and you feel really good around each other and you do complement each other. Or a good person, like you said, a good person will just give you a list of all the things. Oh, I can do this and I can do that. But that's, we all can do those things.
Well, you feel like you have something to prove instead of being like,
Yes, yes.
like I'll give you an example as a man, and Anthea can give her example as a woman. Obviously, as men, we like affectionate and attentive women, right? But I shouldn't have to tell you to be that. So, a long time ago, what was I'll probably say a couple of years ago, I went out with a girlfriend of mine. She was a great friend, and we went out and we had dinner together, right? We were eating, having a good time, laughing, right? And I had something on my face. She passed me a napkin. She opened the napkin and everything for me. She's like, here you go. Here's a napkin. I'm like, and I was dumbfounded. I'm like, sitting there like, what? Like this is happening? You know what I mean? Because I wasn't used to like women, like, being like attentive and like that forthcoming. She rips open a napkin, opens up. I'm like, but you see, I didn't have to tell her to be that. She was just that. And then when she was able to just be that, like I found myself like way more attracted to her. Like I was like, yo, like this girl's attentive. Instead of her like, let's say she like listed off her accolades, like, oh, like I'm a good woman, like I'll take care of you. Like I don't want to hear none of that. Just be. If you are those things, don't tell me. Let me find out as we hang out and just be. Because then I'll able to see like, yo, like this girl compliments my life, like here, and here. All of it.
True. Excuse me. No, and that's so true, isn't it? And I think that goes the same for, just as you said that example. I thought somebody passing me, if I've got something on my mouth or something like that, and somebody actually opens a napkin to pass it to me, that would to me be like, whoa, that's such a beautiful thing to do. Because some people wouldn't say anything and they're just like, oh, don't care. And you like you said, that's a characteristic of someone.
It's just a form of being. Like it's like,
Being.
let's say like you're a woman, you don't want to hear how much a guy can provide for you.
No,
just
Do
provide.
it. Yeah, just
Just
do
provide.
it.
Like when you go out on dates, he pays for the dinner bill. If you're walking down the street and you're like, oh man, like that coat's really nice. You know what? Let's go in the store and buy it. You're like,
yeah.
What
It's
the
that
hell?
thing
Like,
of
what's going on here?
yes, and it's that thing of I'm going to, like, oh, I'm gonna look after you, oh, I'm gonna take you out to dinner, oh, I'm going to do this, but you haven't seen it. And it's like, well, and that's a thing with many humans where they say, oh, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that, but they don't actually do it. So the idea for them is something they want to do. But actually doing it is a whole new ball game. Like you said, if a man's gonna provide or if man's gonna take you out for dinner, I don't want to hear about it. I want to hear what time we're going and actually go and experience that dinner. I don't want to hear, oh, you know, I will take you out dinner in a couple of weeks' time, or oh, we'll go on holiday, or you know, where would you like to go? Oh, and I say Greece or something, or Turkey, and he says, oh, okay, I'll book it. And 2 years passes by and nothing's happened. Just, you know, that doesn't complement my life. That's actually going to get me to the point where I'm
It
just like,
hinders your life.
yeah, it hinders your life because you're constantly living by somebody saying what they're going to do and you're not actually experiencing it. Well, we're here to, like, my view in life is I'm here to experience life.